In the world of the Mafia, loyalty is everything. Blood is the only currency that never loses value. And love is the one thing forbidden above all else. But this is a story of the man who broke that rule, a man feared by many, respected by all, and changed forever by one woman. This is the love story that broke the Mafia code, a ghost in the streets, a legend in the underworld. The kind of man mothers warned their sons about, and fathers prayed their daughters would never meet. Marco wasn't born a monster, he was made into one. At just 14, he watched his father die in a crossfire between rival families. The De Luca name became a stain, a reminder of weakness, and Marco swore he would never be weak again. By 18, he was the youngest enforcer the family had ever recruited. By 25, he was the most feared hitman in the city. They called him the Ghost, because once he was sent after you, you were already dead. But even ghosts have shadows, and Marco's shadow was loneliness. Her name was Elena Rossi, a nurse, a quiet soul, a woman who believed every life had value, even the broken ones. Their worlds were never meant to collide, but fate doesn't follow the Mafia code. One night, Marco was ambushed, a setup, a betrayal from within his own family. Bleeding, barely conscious, he stumbled into a small clinic, Elena's clinic. She should have called the police, she should have run, but instead, she helped him. For the first time in his life, Marco felt something he didn't understand. Not fear, not anger, but peace. Elena didn't know who he was. She didn't care. She treated him like a human being, something he hadn't felt in years. And that terrified him more than any bullet. Marco returned to the clinic again and again, not because he was injured, but because he wanted to see her. Elena noticed the bruises, the scars, the darkness in his eyes, but she also saw something else, a man desperate for redemption. Their conversations were short at first, simple, careful, but slowly, walls began to fall. Marco told her things he had never told anyone, about his father, about the violence, about the emptiness, and Elena listened, not with fear, but with compassion. For the first time, Marco felt seen, not as a killer, not as a ghost, but as a man. And that was dangerous, because in the Mafia, love is a weakness, and weakness gets you killed. Marco tried to keep Elena a secret, but secrets don't survive long in the underworld. The family noticed the change. He was distracted, softened, human, and the Mafia doesn't tolerate humanity. One night, Marco was summoned by Don Ricci, the head of the family. The Don's voice was calm, too calm. "Marco, I hear you've been spending time with a woman, a nurse, a civilian." Marco didn't answer. He didn't need to. The Don leaned forward. "You know the rules. Love makes you hesitate. Hesitation gets us killed. End it, or we will." Marco walked out of that room with a choice: kill the love he found, or lose the only family he had ever known. Marco went to Elena's clinic one last time. His hands were shaking. His heart was heavy. He told her everything: who he was, what he had done, what the family planned to do. He expected her to scream, to run, to hate him, but she didn't. Elena stepped closer, placed her hand on his cheek and whispered, "You are not the monster they made you. You are the man you choose to be." For the first time in his life, Marco cried. He knew then what he had to do, not for himself, but for her. He would break the Mafia code. He would walk away, even if it meant dying. The family sent men after him, dozens. Marco didn't run. He faced them head on, not as a hitman, not as a ghost, but as a man fighting for the only thing that ever mattered. The battle was brutal, unforgiving, a storm of bullets and betrayal. But Marco fought like a man with nothing left to lose and everything left to protect. When the smoke cleared, Marco was still standing, barely, but the message was clear. He would not return. He would not bow. He would not let them touch her. Marco and Elena fled the city that night. No goodbyes, no explanations, just two souls escaping a world built on blood. They started over in a small town far away. New names, new lives, new hope. Marco worked honest jobs. Elena continued nursing. And slowly, the ghost became human again. Some say Marco DeLuca died years ago. Others whispered that he still lives quietly somewhere. A man who traded bullets for peace. A man who broke the Mafia code for love. But one thing is certain. Even the darkest hearts can find light. Even the deadliest men can be saved. And sometimes, love is the most dangerous weapon of all.